Hey everyone, if you guys like the content, go and subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, and give the video a like or share. Welcome to the listening room, you guys. My name is Eddie Booz. I am your host, and with me today is a great friend of mine, a wonderful director, wonderful filmmaker, actor, Mr. Tim Kruse. Welcome to the show, Tim.
Thanks for having me, Eddie. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, my brother. Thanks for coming on today, man. I really appreciate you being here.
Thanks.
Yeah. So
through the grapevine, I've heard you wanted to be on your show, so
right.
I set it up.
Right on. Yeah. So yeah,
busy,
I had my people contact your people, and we worked it out.
So busy.
Right. Absolutely. So but no. So I had Joel on a little while ago. And some of you guys who are watching have seen Joel before, and I've seen Joel on this show before. I think he was on last week. And Joel and Tim and I all met relatively right around the same time, working on some independent shorts that I wrote.
Yeah.
Actually, and Tim actually directed the second thing that I ever wrote, and I had a lot of fun with it. And actually, no, it was the third thing that I ever wrote. In fact, you were the first person that I ever just put my story in someone else's hands and said, just go ahead and take full control and do it.
You took a chance at kind of the Clinton Rose you're talking about.
Clinton Rose, correct.
That was a step up for the movie.
Right. Well, I feel like okay, so out of the 6 original shorts that I wrote, I really feel like Clinton Rose was one of the better ones, and I feel like it had like potential to do more than just the one story.
Sure.
Because the character.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
The character lent for obviously more than one story, but it was very cool to see my characters and the creation that I had that I had written get made by another team, and see how that kind of came to fruition through their eyes.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I got to be honest with you, I really enjoyed it. I think it came out really good, and I'd like to show you guys out there the actual Clinton Rose. Not today, but soon. I'd like to have Tim on and maybe go through that. It's about an 18-minute short. Yeah. So
what we would do different if we had
right, yeah, no, we had a little bit of money, But no, yeah, I think you killed it. It looked fantastic. I think it really came out wonderfully, and I like the characters. I liked who you got to play.
Yeah.
Clinton. I liked who you got to play the doctor. You know what I mean? Matt. Yeah, Matt was great, and Clinton was awesome. Daz was awesome as Clinton. So
yeah,
I'd definitely want to show the people out there what that's some of the stuff that we're gonna be putting out as well.
Sure.
But we'll do that in time. But right now I always like to start my show off like to start my day off, with a little bit of gratitude. So today, I am so happy and grateful for the ability to play instruments, for the ability to focus, learn, take my time, and put my extended period of time into something. Knowing that I'm only going to put an hour in now. I'm only going to put an hour in tomorrow. But I'm still going to be progressing towards a goal, and not just get frustrated with, 5 minutes of activity and it being, and me feel like it's beyond me, and me quitting. Sure. So I'm happy and grateful for the ability to play instruments, for the ability, for the patience and focus that it takes to play those instruments. So today, that's my gratitude. I'm so happy and grateful for the ability, for the focus, all of the aspects that come with and encompass, playing instruments. Why don't you tell me one thing you're grateful for today, bud?
Well, the interesting thing is it's something I've been thinking about because I watched a few of your episodes, and as you start that, I was like, I could say, oh, I'm grateful for like, my family and this, and I have a job, etc.
Which are all great things.
They are great things, but then it made me think about it for real. Like, we don't really do this. Like, I like that you're doing this not only for this, kind of vlog podcast thing, but in general, because I don't think we as people do this enough, actually sit down and think about, hey, I ate food today, or hey, I got up today, hey, this or that or the other. So to be just grateful about any random thing to me would seem just kind of like empty and hollow, So when you were saying, it just made me think, oh, actually, I am kind of grateful for this and this and this too. So if I had to really choose and think about something, I would say I'm grateful for kind of a similar thing as you, because in like last year, I finally started learning how to say no. I know that sounds weird, but I'm actually kind of grateful for that, because then I'm finding self-value.
Of course.
More like, oh, I'm actually worth something. Like I'm actually good at something.
Sure.
Instead of just, sure, I'll do it for you. What do you want? I don't know. Okay, I'll do it anyway.
Right.
It's like, no, I'm worth this.
Yeah.
So it's that same essence of like you're grateful for like you can learn how to play music, you pick up a guitar or anything and just learn and focus and take the time. And I guess for me is that I did that. I took the time, I learned, and I said, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Right.
And just the idea of like that I can do that with anything, even thinking about what I'm grateful for.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Let's get specific for a minute.
Absolutely.
Well, two things. Number one, you said something earlier in that you didn't want to think of a hollow gratitude, something that was, may feel just kind of contrived. You know what I'm saying? Great to see you, my man Ray. Good to see you guys out there. Thanks for joining us on the listening room. But I did want to say something. I did want to touch on that and say something to that effect. And sometimes when you really can't think of the things you're grateful for, when you're really not emotionally invested for being grateful for something in the moment, sometimes grabbing onto those little things and saying, I'm so grateful for family, I'm so grateful for, for this, is just maybe can be a stepping stone for you to change, for you to start changing your biochemistry and really start feeling gratitude. And then your wheels start turning, and then you start to understand, okay, I am grateful for this. I am grateful. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
So I would say that there's a lot of validity to even those, to even those smaller gratitudes, or even those ones that may just seem kind of cliche.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Or taken for granted type, gratitudes. You know what I'm saying?
And that's, you hit it right on the nail on the head with that. That's what I was kind of alluding to, is I could have just said anything, but I haven't practiced it enough in my own personal life to just, today sucks, but you know what, I'm grateful for this or that, to where it does just build and build, to where you just start thinking of like, and you write down lists like,
yes,
oh man,
exactly,
that happened, oh this happened,
right,
oh, like even, just one for you. When I came over, hung out with you the other day, and I saw that you just kind of did this, like no matter what, you're like, no, I'm going to make ends meet, I'm gonna get it done, you can come with me or not. That actually, I was grateful for that, for you, like that you were able, just to say, all right, he's actually doing okay, and he's able to get by, and he's actually kicking ass and taking names, as it were.
I appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
But yes, I didn't want to be kind of fake and hollow with that. But
no, I understand. And there really is no. I really don't think there is a such thing as being fake and hollow when it comes to gratitude. I think even at the most surface levels of gratitude, I think you're still accessing, some of the more positive vibrations and frequencies that the universe has to offer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I understand, and I completely, I understand what you're coming from, is to give some actual thought to what you're grateful for.
So
really actually sit with that and say, what is my actual gratitude? Not just say, oh, well, I got to come up with something I'm grateful for today because I'm on these show, so I'm going to say family. You know what I'm saying? It's not arbitrary, is what you're saying. You really, I understand exactly.
Because I am grateful for all those things.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like,
and then moving a step further into what you were saying, towards the end there about you understanding that there's some self-value there, that there's some worth, and let's get specific here. You were talking about specifically people who want you to do work for them. They want you to do film work. They want you to do cinematography stuff or animation or storyboarding or whatever it may be. And you're always so nice and willing to help out a friend that you're so kind of willing to just put it out there. And you do. And then, after a while, you start to kind of feel almost a little bit of a resentment. But it's built up really in your own heart. And it's you may feel it towards the people that you've worked with or towards the people that have asked things of you. But I find that most of the time when you start recognizing that that's happening, you start really feeling the resentment within yourself for not saying no.
Sure.
For allowing yourself to be put in that position, because really it's all based on you. Nobody's got a gun to anybody's head. So as I'm saying, when you decide that you're going to do something for someone else and and they're not going to pay, you're putting that positive energy out. Sure. You're doing for somebody else. You're not necessarily expecting anything back, but at some point you had to realize that I also have, A, B, C, and D. I also have my own life to live. I have these things going on, and understanding your self-worth, especially when you're in demand. I mean, especially when you have people calling you regularly and consistently for work, you have to at that point go, look, I have a career. Not only am I a filmmaker, but I also have a day job as well. So there's time I spend doing that. Yeah. There's time I spend with family. There's time that I need to allot my schedule to important things in my life.
Absolutely.
Including film work that pays.
Yeah.
Including film work that is going, because like I said, you are in demand. You are getting phone calls for all kinds of different work. So you have to take the work, you have to prioritize and take the work that's going to pay, and you have to like you did, understand your self-worth and just say, I can't do that right now. That's I would love to right now. I would love to, but I can't right now because I have priorities that I'm in the middle of that I can't put aside for something right now.
Yeah.
But I will be willing to work on that, in a little, down the future. Or if there's a budget for it, let me know, because then I can allot some time in my schedule for it a lot easier.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And the biggest thing too, just to kind of piggyback on that, is what I've noticed about those people who I would talk to and try and get gigs or whatever. Half the time, despite being free or whatnot, it was, do they know what they want?
Right.
No, they don't. So then I'm sitting there, oh my God, okay.
So you're doing the creative work too. So they ask you to jump on their project, and then you're also doing the creative work. You're not just doing. And then what
happens is here, I got this for you. Then they have ideas.
Yeah.
You're like, you got to be kidding me.
Right.
And then reluctantly, it's like, okay, we'll fix it. We fix it. Well, can you fix it again? Sure. Yeah. And it's like you said, you could get very kind of
right
at it, but
it's
got to move forward.
Yeah, and it's important.
Not right now. I'm on hiatus.
Right. Yeah. Well, I find it's important to lay very clear cut and dry guidelines too. As you, Robbie, great to see you, my brother. He says commitments to yourself should be as important as to anyone else. It's so true, Rob. I mean, that's so important and true. Yeah. But when you do those things, when you start to prioritize yourself. Yeah. You're not putting anyone else down.
No.
You're not doing anything malicious with any type of intent to harm. All you're doing is what's best for you in the moment. And that's what's best for you in your highest interests.
And that's exactly what I'm grateful for is I'm not hurting them.
But it takes strength to also say no. Yeah, it takes strength to tell a friend, I can't do that for you right now.
I'm that kind of guy's like, but I want to help them out. They
I know.
Me,
I know. A lot of people are like that, my brother. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people have an issue with that, and so they just give of themselves until they have no more, until they're mad at the person they've been giving to, or they're mad at themselves, or mad at the world. You know what I'm saying? Right, and it just, like Robbie says, right there, if you can draw those healthy boundaries, understand them, and say, this is what I'm willing to tolerate and what I'm not willing to tolerate in my life, and then you live by those things. You set them out and you say, "This is it. This is how I'm going to. These are the parameters that I'm going to work within," and then you don't stray from those.
Yeah.
Even if it hurts to say no to somebody, even if it hurts to say, "I can't do this anymore," even if you have to just stop because it doesn't align with your highest interest, or because something about it doesn't mesh with something that you want in your life.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. All I'm saying is that you have to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
You have got to be true to yourself, and you cannot, compromise in those types of boundaries.
Definitely.
I mean, compromise is what healthy relationships are built on. But, and obviously a lot of other things, trust and, communication and things like that. But a healthy amount of compromise is always key, in a healthy relationship. But, you have to make sure that you pour from a full cup. My cup runneth over.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't fill anybody else's cup from yours being empty. So make the good decisions for yourself. You'll start to feel more fulfilled, and those around you who are most aligned with those highest interests will stick around.
Oh, definitely.
Be in your life. You'll attract people and situations that are better towards you.
And that's that's kind of happening, which is cool. I have some irons in the fire, which
right.
I'm not privy to talk about as yet, but pretty exciting. Obviously we'll talk about them.
Like Robbie says, feel the guilt and don't do it anyway.
Right.
my new self-help book. I love it.
Actually, that's a pretty good title. You better watch out. Someone might take it.
No, I like that. Feel the guilt and don't do it anyway. Yeah. And don't do it anyway. Because you just feel guilty that you don't, because you want to help this person, or you want to take those jobs for free, but you can't, and especially when you got work to do,
right,
bills to pay, but I like your gratitude, man. I like your gratitude today. That was very enlightening. It's very good to talk about that, and I always like to say on the show here too that it's paramount to stay active in your own emotional and mental health. To stay absolutely active in it, and not just let the circumstances of life dictate the way you feel all the time.
Right.
And one of the best ways to do that is to actually acknowledge the things you're grateful for, celebrate the things you're grateful for, write them down, say them out loud, put them in the comment section if you guys are grateful for anything. So, but that's one of the best and easiest ways to stay focused and stay in the consciousness of gratitude.
I think also, if I may, just another little
absolutely
addition to that is to. If you are wrong, own up to it.
Oh yeah, huge. Well, I mean for me, that's one of my that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Is like if I'm make a mistake, I will say, you know what, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. What can I do to fix it? And what can I do? And I'm gonna do my best to make sure it never happens again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To learn from that mistake and actually grow from it.
Sure.
Now there's a lot of that, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like if I, run into somebody who who does something and then just can't take responsibility for the words that they say or for the things that they do, and it always, it's because of this person that I said that, or this person that 2 weeks ago that did that, or that shit don't fly with me.
No.
Like that. Excuses don't fly with me. You do something wrong, you own up to it, you say something, and you move forward.
Absolutely.
And to be honest with you, that garners more respect than anything else, in my opinion. It really does. I mean, when you just try and skirt it and do and try and do mental and verbal gymnastics, it just doesn't work out for anybody. Seriously. Really. And it's kind of embarrassing, really.
Yeah, it gets frustrating.
Right.
For sure.
So, but I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, this life is. It's crazy. There's so many different nuances to the emotions that we feel on a daily basis, and how we react to different things that come into our lives, So, but again, man, I really like the thing. I really liked your gratitude today. Mine has been very, the last few days might have been very kind of, just about my passions in life, baseball and music, and instruments and stuff, and But I loved what you had to say today. It was fantastic, very insightful, man. I really enjoyed. I always enjoy hanging out with you and talking to you, Tim. We always see eye to eye on so many different topics, and
it's just easy,
But we don't see eye to eye on a lot of times is movies, actually, and we're both filmmakers, and you and I just do not like the same movies. Like every time, like I've told you to watch a movie, and I'm like, dude, this this is a great movie, and you're
It's
like,
a horror movie.
you come back to me and you're like, no,
No.
it wasn't good.
Or yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it was a good movie.
Oh
Like,
man.
oh.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Switch to Daisy.
We're still right. Yeah, I know. Switch the Daisy Cam quick.
Go. She liked it.
Oh, that's Miss Nala. Oh, Miss Daisy and Miss Nala hanging out. Two little sweethearts.
And we're back.
And we're back.
I'm doing it live. Sorry.
I almost did my impression of that.
That would have been bad. Demonetized. Thank you.
No, yeah, instantly.
Instantly.
It's awesome.
The guest who's never coming back.
Right. Yeah,
Tim
no.
Kruse.
No, you guys are awesome. It's great to see you guys out there. Thanks for joining me in the listening room. This is on every weekday at 6:30, you guys. Wonderful to have my guest today, Mr. Tim Kruse, director, actor, producer, done all kinds of amazing things. So Tim, let's go ahead and show everyone a little bit of some of the stuff you've done, some of the stuff we've done together. In fact, let's go ahead and show them one of the things that we shot together for his little Kickstarter thing.
Oh yeah.
So we were shooting a movie, and we were working with a really talented young actress named Noelle, and she brought us this project, and she said, we want you guys to she said, I want you, Eddie, to direct it, and I want Tim, to be the cinematographer, and will you guys do this thing? And we said sure. It sounded like it was going to be a fun little project to do, and it was going to be a web series if I wasn't mistaken. So. And so we filmed this little Kickstarter intro thing for it, and so here we go. I'm gonna show you guys. There's no title for this, so let's just call it Gunfight at the Obu's Corral.
Yeah, right.
Here we go. This was a really fun thing to shoot. We had a good time with this. I'm all serious here. Look at that hair, dude. I need a haircut. What's going on with that guy?
Good beard, though.
I don't know about that. Know it's you, Tim. I got something for you. Eddie! Yeah!
I thought we were shooting at each other. Thought we were doing a dramatic comedy.
We are! It's called Four of a Kind! Why did you bring a gun?
I don't know.
Put it down. I'll put mine down, and we'll tell these nice people about Four of a Kind.
Yeah. You got anything to drink?
Yeah, I got some stuff. Tim, how are you? Good to see you. All right.
I have learned proper
That was
trigger
fun.
discipline.
Right, yeah. That was fun. I like that.
I am not a noob. with
That was cool, dude. All right, cool. So that was the little Kickstarter video that we filmed for Four of a Kind. That was too fun.
Which unfortunately never
It's been unfortunately it never got made actually.
Oh, wow.
But that was really fun. I actually enjoyed shooting that with you. I always enjoy like those little exercises. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting a little shooting in. You know. So let's go ahead and check out something else. Actually no. Let's go ahead and check out your demo. Let's go ahead and check out your
okay.
your director's reel. So
Sure.
Here we go. This is Tim Kruse's direct.
Coco Mademoiselle, Chanel.
Every night, it's the same dream. And each day, I get closer to finding my family. I will find them. I just have to survive.
Clinton, is it? It says here you checked yourself in.
Yep.
So why are we here today?
Do you believe in magic?
Got me threes. Go fish.
Love it. That was awesome.
Thank you.
I like that one. So you said that last one was supposed to be a little bit was supposed to be like a little bit more. There was supposed to be something more to that.
Yeah, we were on mute, but the funny thing about that one is we shot it in one day. Obviously, you saw Joel there. My whole intention was literally to get at least 5 or 6 people. I was gonna dress up a little more like Don Corleone, you know, like, oh, yeah, how you doing? You know, do the whole shtick, and just show a bunch of these like typical like, you know, gangsters and like mafiosos and stuff. And then all of a sudden he was gonna be like, and so I have to say, I believe was Colonel Mustard in the billiard room with the knife, you know. And then you show Clue. It's like these mobsters are playing Clue.
Right.
But nobody was free. So it's like, all right, Joel, here, smoke this. Good lighting. Boom, boom, boom. And it was just the two of us, literally. I was
Just
back
go
and forth.
fish, just real easy.
Yeah, go fish. So
That's kind of
hopefully-
cool.
Hopefully it played like we were playing something other than go fish.
No, that played good. That was
Yeah.
really fun. You know, so what we do here on the listening room every day is we do a song too,
Okay.
and we're talking about filmmaking today. So I think I thought Tim had a good idea. We were talking about it before, and Tim said, "Why don't you show the song you wrote for that movie?" About 5, 6 years ago, I got a call from a friend of mine named Josh, who is apparently friends with a producer named Joseph Craig, and
Never heard of him.
yeah, and they called me and said, we need this song for this movie that's going to be potentially filmed with Hugh Jackman and Nicole Kidman.
Nice.
And they said it was a true story about some stuff that happened in Australia, I think in the 90s. So I was like, okay. So I didn't know anything really about the story. They just told me that the name of the movie was going to be called The Playmakers. And they said, write something in the style of they said in the style of like Mumford and Sons or something like that. So so I took to writing, and they said they had actually had another dude try and write this song, and apparently he came back 3 times, and they were like, all 3 times, like, no, we don't like it. So the guy called me and said, you know, we want to give you a shot at writing this tune. You know, it didn't take long. It was pretty quick. It was definitely the same day or the next day that I got back to him. But here we go. This song is called The Playmakers. You can find this on the album BOOZE, like the drink.
Once upon a time, out back, wide open, true, made us feel alive, nothing that I owed you. And as it crushed under the weight of 1,000 suns, oh how they pray all damn night. And it's a playmaker's evening when that rocks through the tragic night. It's a playmaker's evening, our darkness rolls over time. Once upon a time, over the oceans in June, forced upon the tide, just this one picture of you. And as we stepped on a foreign land, and he felt the sun upon his hands, then he cried. And it's a playmaker's evening when that rocks through the tragic night. It's a playmaker's evening, our darkness rolls over time. Darkness rolls over time. And it's a playmaker's evening when that rocks through the tragic night. It's a playmaker's evening, our darkness rolls over time.
All right, that was The Playmakers. I wrote that for a film that don't believe ever got made, actually. But I remember sending it to the producers, and I got a call from that guy, Joseph Craig, like the next day, and he was like, we love it. He was like, we definitely want to use it for the film, but I don't think it ever got made. So no worries. Anyway, that was The Playmakers. I hope you guys enjoyed that tune.
Absolutely.
We'll be showing you guys some of the other songs from BOOZE, like the drink, in the future here.
Nice.
But until then, let's go ahead and jump over to some more video scenes from Mr. Tim Kruse here. All right, let's see here.
What do we got next?
What do we got next? what do we got next? All right, here's the Survive trailer, my man. So this was part of the demo. You're going to see a little bit of that kind of post-apocalyptic type thing. This is the trailer, the full trailer for Survive. And man, I really wish that you could find the footage for that fight scene, because I would like to edit the whole thing, because it was choreographed so nice. And me and Joel, I think we really had a great time doing that. But so
I'd have to get a drive fixed.
Gotcha. So tell us what this movie would have been about had it been made.
Well, okay, but the way I made it was to be a trailer, which is interesting. But
School project?
Yeah, it was. It was for college, but was thinking of doing a full-on movie. Man, I had it in my head. Now it's gone. It's basically kind of like, at the time I made it, the zombie thing was really big. You know, the kind of creatures, as you should see in this other trailer at the end. But it's about a father who thinks everything's lost. You know. His family and stuff, but he's just like, but I gotta live on, and my family would want me to. But then, you know, spoiler alert, you know, he kind of finds him, but then it's all about kind of getting revenge and surviving.
Interesting.
That, you know, so it's kind of put certain video games, you know, like Borderlands or like a Mad Max kind of thing, kind of feel, you know, with
sure.
Just like.
I can dig it.
Division, Zombie Apocalypse, or Z Nation, I think that's what's called, something like that.
Right.
But I wasn't necessarily gonna have any zombies per se. I didn't really get that far yet. But
I gotcha.
It's just a trailer.
All right. Well, let's check out the trailer for Survive.
Each night is like the last. It's always so quiet. I was supposed to protect them. But I didn't. I couldn't. They were gone before I had a chance to. Every night, I see their faces. Smiling. The world hadn't gone to shit. I know I'll be with them again someday. For now, I just have to survive.
What do you want me to say?
It's not your fault.
This is the second time I've lost her.
Lost? I know you're not happy here, but I don't care. If she does anything stupid, cut off her fingers.
My dad will find me. He'll be here.
I'm counting on it.
You!
He's gonna kill you.
He'll try. We got everything you need.
What about guns?
I'm gonna have to have an early start. It's better that we get dressed now.
Run!
You son of a... Hey! You know why I'm doing this. Remember the last time we met, right? Killed my brother too. You remember that, don't you? Don't you?
Every night it's the same dream. And each day I get closer to finding my family. I will find them, even if I walk to the gates of hell.
Dig it. Love it. Awesome, dude.
Thank you.
I like that.
That last shot was a trip. It was literally Joel in the shot, and the dude who played the little legless salesman, Paul, he was the cinematographer.
We have everything you need.
We literally had to go in my bathroom in my apartment and just cover the light and just pop a pinhole in it with some of this that black aluminum stuff, just so we had a sliver of light, and we're in the dark.
Really?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden something started like smoking because the light was getting really hot. So like, all right, we're done. We got it. We gotta go.
Right. All right, let's check out another one. All right, so this one's fun. This was this was a spot you did for a project to do a DiGiorno's commercial. So let's go ahead and check this out. I really enjoyed this one myself. Actually, this was really fun.
You just gave away the joke.
I got you figured out, Frankie. You think you're smarter than me? You figured, oh, Benny, he'll never figure it out. So I'm gonna ask you one more time, and don't give me your lies.
No, I wouldn't lie to you, I swear.
Then who did you get it from, Frankie?
It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. It tastes so good, you'll have a hard time believing it yourself.
Oh, look.
That was good.
Nice.
I actually like that. Did you write that?
Yeah.
That was pretty. That was pretty funny, actually.
Twisted sense of humor.
I'm not gonna tell you again, Frankie.
Like we actually had in the cut where he was like, "Where'd you get it from? Caesar's, Marco's?" You know,
I did see that one.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Like, no, that's too many.
I saw
through every pizza chain. Like, no.
I saw that version of that actually. That was pretty good.
Too many. Just cut it down to two. Yeah.
Oh, that was fun, dude. That was awesome. All right, let's check out another one.
All right.
I got you.
Oh, that's the same one. All right. So this one is kind of a documentary you did on a magician, correct?
Yeah. If anybody has seen like America's Got Talent, Nathan Fan, or that magic show on cable, I haven't watched it because I didn't have cable.
Gotcha.
Like, you know, the Masters of Illusion or something like that, I think. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'm probably going to get chastised for saying it wrong. But he's been doing really well.
Awesome.
This was a while ago, so yeah, it was fun.
Awesome.
Fun interview.
Well, let's check this out. This is a little bit of magic for Mr. Tim Kruse.
Not the title, but that's okay.
Just pretend I'm right about there.
Give your name to everybody.
Hi, I'm Nathan Fan. That's Nathan Phan.
Nice. Are you a native Californian?
Yes, I was born here in California, but when I was one, my family and we moved out to Scotland, Glasgow. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. So you kept the accent.
I keep it fresh because every once in a while, actually, when I perform magic up at the Magic Castle, you need sometimes in business, you need a bit of a hook. You need something that sets you apart from the competition. And so an Asian Scotsman is not something people are prepared to see. And so it just gets people to notice me. Yeah, it kind of pulls them in, like, ooh, what's his story?
Nice. Where do you see yourself going in 5 years with all this future?
In 5 years, what I'd hope to be doing is I'd hope that I'd have a relatively stable acting career as well. I'd love to be at that point in movies like once every year, every other year, being bit parts in movies and TV shows would be great. I'd also love to be going onto talk shows, and whether as an actor or as a magician. So I'd like a little bit more recognition on from a national standpoint, I suppose.
Yeah, this is the area I was talking about. That inspired you to get into entertainment and magic, or magic?
I guess, at the risk of sounding cliche, it was my grandfather. My grandfather was a military man back in Vietnam, South, in case anyone's keeping track. And he happened to pick up a couple of magic tricks. I honestly don't even know where he learned them. And he's told me, oh, you know, everything you need to learn in magic is sold in a book called The Tarbell Course in Magic.
Right.
I started learning that way. But it was my grandfather originally, and then I got to watch some magic acts at like the Orange County Fair and things like that. It just got me more and more into it.
And so this is your buddy's shop, The Best Magic. Is this one you frequent to buy tricks?
Yes. This is Best Magic. It's a couple minutes away from Disneyland. 625 South Magnolia.
If anybody wants to know.
If anybody wants to know, bestmagic.com.
What is it about magic you love the most?
Gosh.
I got some good questions.
They're surprisingly good questions. They're questions people don't ask often, but it's things that I discuss with my friends and we can't come up with answers. I was with my friends the other night. We were saying, man, we just love magic so much, and we just sit there and we geek out over like it'll be the tiny thing, like look at the way he moves his pinky when he handles a deck of cards. There's little tiny things, but I don't know. I guess the thing I love about magic is that it challenges me. It keeps all the cylinders running at the same time. Some things it's like, oh, well, if I do this thing, it only challenges this aspect of me. If I do this, it only challenges this aspect of me. Magic seems to just challenge every aspect because there is the monitoring of the sleight of hand. You have to make sure that there's clean and precision. You also, at the same time, have to monitor your audience and see how well they're responding. Check to make sure that your angles aren't being revealed. You always have to, handle the audience management. If they don't see you responding to something, you gotta, cut around certain material and jump into something else. There is the constant persona, making sure you're keeping their attention, plotting, I love that it can transport people, that people say, oh, magic's fake, and to me, magic really is real, because it creates, like, a moment, a magical moment, and it transports them away from the ordinary and into the extraordinary, or the supernatural. And in that moment, they cannot explain something. There's something they do not understand. It gives them hope. It gives them escape. It gives them release. And it's just magic.
Oh, yeah. Nice, dude. Great work. I remember when I saw the production for that the first time, I was very impressed. I was like, dude, yeah, this looked really, really good. Like, to be honest with you, it felt to me, it was edited well, shot well. It just felt like it could have been on any network. It could have been on absolutely any network, dude. So,
Appreciate that.
Yeah, dude, you killed it. Adam says that guy's talented.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
It was a fun shot though. The location scouting. Nathan actually picked the second one, and he had access to the first one, the little theater, because later. A couple months later, he actually played in Sweeney Todd, and we went and saw him.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
Yeah, it was cool. So I was like, oh, theater, it's perfect, and then just all the other shops were
nice.
They just fit,
All right, so I'm gonna ask you something. So I would like to know. I personally would like to know, and now that X-Men are with the MCU,
God, yeah.
I was wondering who you would like to see play Wolverine. And by the way, throw your guys' votes for who you'd like to see play Wolverine out in the comment section too.
Even though they'll all be wrong.
I'm sorry. Who would you like to see
Don't
play Wolverine? And if you got more than one guy,
yeah,
let me know.
So I know everybody's Tom Hardy. Yeah, he's a great actor, but my problem is he's too famous.
Gotcha.
Well,
when Hugh Jackman came in to play him, he was a nobody.
Right. But everybody knows, if you're a comic nerd or whatever, Wolverine is like 4 foot something. Hugh Jackman is 6'3". He fit, but he didn't fit. He had the acting chops, had the heart, he was good. He was good. The guy that I want to be Wolverine is Christian Kane.
Christian Kane, he was in Leverage, right?
Yes. He plays, he is Wolverine. If you've never seen Leverage, try and find that show. It's 5 seasons. The character development in the show is amazing.
I enjoyed it.
It's so good.
You think Christian Kane would be good for Wolverine?
Oh, he'd be perfect.
I don't.
He's short. He's already got the gravelly voice. He already knows all of the martial art moves.
So here's the thing, though.
He pretty much is there.
Even though Wolverine was short in the comics, Hugh Jackman's what, 6'3", 6'3", 6'2", 6'3". So even though he's 6'3", so has he set a new standard as far as that kind of height goes, or you think it's okay if we go back to the short, stocky Wolverine in the comics?
Absolutely, I think people would
embrace
applaud
that?
it. Oh yeah,
You think actual comic fans would dig that?
definitely.
Yeah.
Look at what Ryan Reynolds did for Deadpool.
Okay, now let me. Is Ryan Reynolds short?
No, he's not. But Deadpool's not short. But what I'm saying is, Ryan Reynolds went, no. This is Deadpool. It's a rated R movie. This is Deadpool. And everybody's no. He goes, then I'm not using you. He got rated R. Everybody loved Deadpool.
Right. I gotcha. Well, okay. So, in my opinion, it's very unlikely.
Oh, absolutely.
that would even be
it's not gonna happen.
a thing.
It's unfortunate.
But
he's a TV actor.
But what about? I mean, is there anyone else in your running around in your mind, or that's crossed your mind for that? Because to be honest with you, I don't even think that I could think of somebody. Ray says Jason. I said mimosa.
Like the drink? No, he's too
like
tall.
The drink.
He's too tall. No, if Jason Momoa would be anybody in another comic movie, save for Aquaman, which was whatever, I think he would be good as Lobo.
That actually plays. I mean, well, you look at the comic, you look at Jason Momoa, he plays. And Lobo actually, I could see Lobo being a very successful movie if they stayed true and made it an R rating.
Yes.
If they gave it the R and
it's got to be brutal, gritty.
Yeah.
Heavy
that
metal,
would be
rock
good.
and roll.
I could see totally see Jason Momoa playing.
The other guy that I was thinking of, if we're going to Lobo and then we'll switch back to Wolverine, is the guy who played the comedian from
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
All he needs to do is just beef out a little bit.
Yeah.
Do it. But
he is actually a little thinner than I thought he was.
Well, yeah, especially because of Negan. He
right.
like 50 pounds.
I thought like in the comic, Negan was like bigger.
Yeah, no, but he dropped weight for it in the show.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. But back to Wolverine. No, I can't think of any other actor. I mean, that's the other thing too, right? Is the unfortunate thing with like Hollywood and everything nowadays is it's all about marketability. You know what I mean, like, oh, let's have another, Will Smith movie or whatever. I mean, okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that,
no,
but
nothing wrong. Like, we've seen him too much.
We'd like to see.
What about this other guy that we've only seen in two things or not seen at all?
Right. Dude, you know who I like, bro? Speaking of actors who, I mean, he's been around for a minute, but he's just not got as much recognition yet as I think he probably will moving forward too in the future, is Logan Marshall Green. Huge fan.
That sounds
dude.
familiar.
Like,
I can't picture the face
dude,
right now, though.
He was in 3 amazing movies that I can name right off the bat. Devil. He was the kid who was in the elevator in that movie Devil with those. It was him and Bokeem Woodbine and like 2 or 3 other people, and they were stuck in this elevator, and they all started dying one at a time. They all started getting murdered one at a time, and nobody could figure out who was the one who was killing the people. It was a good. I liked it. I thought it was a good movie.
I haven't seen that one yet.
But he was like the young like courier who like made his way into the elevator at the last minute.
Anything else?
He was in The Invitation. Have you seen that?
Invitation. That sounds familiar too.
Watch it. It's worth the watch. So here's the thing. Slow burn, super slow burn, but very interesting. And the end is worth the watch.
Okay.
The end is absolutely. It's one of those movies that's just like, okay, it kind of takes you through, and there's some anticipatory tension, but as you get towards the end, you get this like kind of like, what the fuck, like,
yeah.
Holy shit, this happened. You know what I mean? Like, that was crazy. So it was a really good ending. Like, I really liked that.
Nice.
But and then
what else was he in?
He was in Upgrade. That recent movie that like Blumhouse action.
So these are all horror movies.
Well,
it wasn't
a horror film. It was more of an action movie. I mean,
is that right?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's about this guy him and his wife get in a car accident at the beginning of the film, and his wife ends up dying. He ends up being murdered, actually, right after the car accident.
Oh, dang.
Some people pull him out of the car and end up murdering the wife, and they shoot him in the back of the head, and he ends up actually living through it, but he's paralyzed. And this guy comes to him and says, "Hey,
Nice seeing the trailer to that
He
one.
says,
Okay,
"I have this thing I can implant in your neck that'll like help you like
and
walk
he's like
again."
a super soldier or something.
The thing
like he beats the ever living.
Well, the thing is like conscious that that he puts in his neck, and it starts talking to him, and it can actually like help him with his strength, and actually help him like turn his pain receptors off, and like
I see the
there's
face to the name.
Very cool film, dude. Very cool film. He's a killer actor, dude. He's a killer actor.
Well, man, there's a lot of actors. Like, I have a project. I don't want to talk about it because, I'm still working on it.
Still working, fleshing it out, yeah.
But there's just some actors that like are in TV shows that maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't. Like, for instance, I don't know if The Last Kingdom. Have you seen that one?
Haven't seen it yet.
Like, that's a great show, and obviously some of them have probably been in like a Game of Thrones or something of that nature, or whatever. But like, they've been in enough to where if you saw their faces, you're like, oh, I recognize you. But they're just, I think they're almost better than some of these Hollywood A-listers. And I don't mean that in like talent-wise per se.
Almost just of a more fitting role where they're
like
able
the
to fit into the actual
is there, and they would fit better.
Acting wise, their chops are as good as the A-listers.
Like the lead actor in The Last Kingdom.
Killer.
Like, amazing. Or even in Vikings, the lead actor in Vikings.
The guy from what was his name? Shit, right? The guy who played
Ragnar.
Ragnar,
Like,
I
he's
liked him.
Actor.
It was really I thought so too. It was really weird because like he was in that World of Warcraft movie. I was like,
yeah.
Okay, what happened?
That's what I'm saying, right? Like,
I
you don't see these people, and you're like, why not?
Right?
Why,
I don't know, man.
Why are we getting Maverick?
If you could work with any person, any actor, choose any actor to work with, who would it be?
Like nowadays, or just in general?
Anyone, in general.
Alive or dead?
In general. I'm thinking now. I'm thinking like people who are alive. But yeah, if
just
you could work
one?
with anybody, pick one actor.
Oh my God.
You could make a movie with that person.
Okay, Matthew McFadden.
Matthew McFadden?
Yes.
Okay.
I
thought you were gonna say Josh Holloway.
From
I thought you liked him as an actor.
I did.
All right, you guys. So give me.
We are experiencing more technical.
We are not experiencing technical difficulties, dude. We are experiencing a little bit of movement in the show here. We're going to go ahead into a. All right, we're going to check out something else Tim directed here called Behind the Pepper Box. Enjoy this, you guys. We'll be right back. And we'll be right back. Hello? Hey, buddy. Oh, really? Yeah, I think we could do that. So let me call the guys and see what they say, and let me get back to you in just a couple minutes here and see if we can rock the show off for you. Hey, Robert. Hey, it's Eddie. Okay, I just got a call from Durf over at Cervello's, and he wanted us to play a show. Hey, Steve? Yeah, Pepperbox Lullaby. All right, well, look, me and Bobby were talking about getting together tomorrow around noon. If you can make it, that'd be awesome. If not, no worries. Well, why don't we get together and discuss the band member issue, and let's kind of tentatively say we're going to do this, yeah? All right, brother, I look forward to it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. 1, 2, 3, I am lost without my mood. Begging at my strings, I hear a cat that harmony. Now I hum my tune. If you sing along, if you like it, choose your melody. And I actually went through a lot of potential names, some which I really liked, and others that we didn't like so much, and we kind of whittled it down to a good 3 or 4 names. I think Somebody's Darling was one of the potential names for the band. So was Through the Mill. That was another potential name for the band. And we decided on Pepperbox Lullaby kind of by votes from the guys in the band. And Pepperbox is the Civil War term for a pistol. And so Pepperbox Lullaby, would essentially be a bullet, so. All right, guys. All right, quickly, we got a show next Saturday, so I just want to talk to you guys real quick about what you guys feel like doing as far as the amount of members in our band.
The rest of the band and I have known each other. Well, I've been jamming with Eddie for 8 years, and I met him through our fiddle player, Robert. And Robert and I have been playing together for 12 years now.
James had mentioned something earlier about possibly having us three as the core group for Pepperbox Lullaby, and then at our live shows having, you know, Steve play with us, and then possibly having, like, you know, fifth member to play the guitar and do backups as well. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about, you know, three piece?
I think it'd be good to fight to try and get Steve in as many gigs as possible, but he's in more bands than I can count. So.
Yeah.
Well, we're all in 100 bands.
Yeah.
I think if we're going to keep the core 3, I think that's a good idea. As long as the 3 of us can practice and work on these songs, because the music itself is solid, I think, and we can do it as a 3-piece.
Yeah. So. Where do I see myself going career-wise with this band? Anywhere it'll take me, honestly. It really depends on the crowds, the interest that that we can generate. If we do our jobs properly, I feel like people will resonate with it and we'll be successful. If not, then you learn from failure, right? So.
Back to the sea. Yeah. All right, let's do one of ours. Let's do Devil's Tail. Let's get it, guys. All right, ready? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Devil demons on that I can, headed for the outback to disaster, my friend. Oh, then the earthly time as we know it, leading off disparity and evil intentions. The devil sure don't know just what they have in store. Michael's flying into and customs missed his flaming sword. He's got a window seat and he's making his amends. Jesus told him not to come and he's prayed for his sins. As he closes his eyes and the water on his lips, it tastes like wine. And now he stands 10 feet tall. I see us going far, you know. I think this is some of the best material I've written, you know. It's some of the strongest I feel about, and I think this could go far if we really push it. I really do. I believe that. 1, 2, 3. I was thrown through the leaves like a wind blowing through the trees as the river over the stones. Through the years we're hanging on like cattle out on the range. Lead me home. It's a struggle life, lessons as you kick the clock on by. It takes a man, it takes a guy to steady his hand way to wise. They're much closer than I am, and oh, to be in time. And maybe they can teach me how to turn it back. I was born through the leaves like a wind.
All right, you guys. We're Pepperbox Lullaby. Thanks for coming out today. We really appreciate you guys. So we're a local bluegrass band from Long Beach, California. My name is Eddie. This is Steve here on the banjo. This is Robert here on the fiddle, and this is James over on the bass. And what we're doing today is we're going to be play the show for you guys. Thank you, guys. All right. This next song is called Moonshine Railroad. You ready? 1, 2. And we roll down the tracks on the Moonshine Railroad. With the bottle in your hand and a wind at your back, flying across this cool land. Shine the boiler, the steam sure smelling fine. And the smoke in my breath reminds me of, takes me back to bottoms up. 4 years out, we're really going strong. And we roll down the tracks on the Moonshine Railroad. And the steam from the sky goes flying off. And that whiskey tree, pick off. With a smile on your face and a toothless grin, heading for the west again. To Dr. Liquor Symphony. If you start to slow down and the goal is out, pop yourself a job light. Shine the boiler, the t-shirt smelling fine. And we roll down the tracks on the Moonshine Railroad. And the steam from the sky goes flying on. And then whiskey tree. And we roll down the tracks on the Moonshine Railroad. And the steam from the sky goes flying on. And then whiskey tree. And we roll down the tracks on the Moonshine Railroad.
That was fun to film, dude. That was super, super cool.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, you guys, I want to show you one last thing of Tim's before we go ahead and wrap it up for the evening. I'm going to have Tim back in about a week or two, and we're going to talk films. We're going to talk movies. We're going to talk about all kinds of different, movies that are supposed to be coming out pretty soon.
Mhm.
Some of the movies that have come out recently.
Yeah.
And what the future of film looks like. As far as after this goes.
Right.
So right now I'm going to show you the feature film that Tim directed called Killer Inside.
Right here. This is where I lost control. I know that hell is waiting for me with open arms.
That woman.
Yes, I did.
Why?
Because I couldn't kill you. Awesome. Dude, you did a great job directing that, bud. You really did a good job on that. I had a lot of fun with it too, dude. And like I was saying before, I wanted to get Miss Daisy in here so we could check on Miss Daisy one more time. Oh, there she is. And Miss Nala chewing on a bone. So join us tonight at 8:15, you guys. We're going to be going live and doing a jam session with Dave Burns and myself. Mr. Burns will be with me this evening on the banjo and the guitar. And join us every weeknight at 6:30 right here on the listening room, you guys. Thank you so much to my guest, Mr. Tim Kruse, today for coming on, showing us some of the work you've done, showing us some of your art. I really appreciate that. I know everyone else out there does as well. And I'm looking forward to having you on either next week or the week after. I think actually next week is fully booked.
Sure.
But the week after we'll put it on.
Call your people.
Do that. Yeah. We'll do that, and we'll make it happen.
Sounds good.
Absolutely, my brother. And tune in tomorrow night at 6:30. We're gonna have Klepto K here doing Loop Station awesomeness. Cannot wait to have you guys see what we have in store for you guys tomorrow night. So make sure you guys make it right on back 6:30 tomorrow night on the listening room.
Awesome.
My name is Eddie Booze. Thank you again to my guest, Mr. Tim Kruse.
Thank you for having me.
Have a wonderful evening, you guys. Thank you all. Love you all. Thanks for being a part of the listening room tonight. My name is Eddie Booze. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, and give the video a like. We'll see you guys every Monday through Friday right here at 6:30. Take care.